Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. The title of our today's video is how to add OnceHub booking details in Google Sheets. So the objective of our today's video is that as soon as a new booking is scheduled in my OnceHub account, automatically the details of that booking should be added to my Google Sheets too. For this, we are going to create a connection between OnceHub and Google Sheets. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So in Pabbly, we have the concept of trigger and action. For trigger, we are going to use OnceHub, and for action, we are using Google Sheets. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, follow me through the screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to learn how to add OnceHub booking schedule details in Google Sheets. For this, we are going to create a connection between OnceHub and Google Sheets. To create this connection, I have already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as you'll open the landing page of Pabbly, you're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting two applications. So I'm going to click on Access Now right over here. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with the automation, I'm going to click on this button right over here which says Create Workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as add OnceHub booking scheduled details in Google Sheets. And then we are going to click on create. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. By this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now we are going to select our trigger application, which is OnceHub, because I want that as soon as a new meeting is scheduled in OnceHub, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for OnceHub and select it. And then for the trigger event, we are going to select booking scheduled. And then we are going to click on connect right over here. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your OnceHub account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection and then it will ask you for the API key. So we are going to read the instructions, and it is saying log into your OnceHub account. You can get your API key from here. So over here you can see there's a hyperlink. So we are going to open this link in a new tab. And over here you can see that this is my API key. So I'm going to regenerate this key so that I can get the fresh key right over here. And now after regenerating this key, I'm going to copy this key. And then I'm going to paste this key in my workflow. And now after pasting this key, I'm going to click on save. And yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our OnceHub account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me the webhook name. So I'm going to name the webhook as test OnceHub. And then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that it is saying waiting for a response. And in the notes, it is saying do a test submission/record. So we are going to do a test submission in order to create a webhook response. So to do this, I'm going to open my OnceHub account, and from here you can see event types and booking pages. So I'm going to select this booking page, and then I'm going to open this link in a new tab. And as you can see, now I'm going to schedule a meeting. So for the date, I'm going to select it as 14th of May and the time as 2:30 p.m. And then we are going to click on continue right here. And now over here it is selecting the event type and the time. Now just we have to select the name, email and the mobile phone number. So over here I'm going to enter the name as smart user, the email as user@pabblytudes.com and the phone number as this. And now after entering all the details, if you wish you can also enter the notes, but I'm going to ignore this, and then we are going to click on done. And yes, you can see your booking is confirmed and an email confirmation has been sent to user@pabblytudes.com. This means that our booking has been confirmed And also, OnceHub send the details of our booking to our workflow. So we are going to open our workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of the booking or not. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. Over here, you can see 30 minutes meeting scheduled, the date of the meeting and the time of the meeting. Also, over here, you can see the name, the phone number and the email that we entered. So this means that my trigger step is successful, and now we are moving on to our action step. For our action application, we are going to select Google Sheets because I want that as soon as a new meeting is scheduled in OnceHub, automatically the details of that meeting should be added to my Google Sheets too. So I'm going to search for Google Sheets and then we are going to select Google Sheets. And now for the action event, we are going to select Add New Row. And again, we are going to click on Connect. And as you can see, again, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And now after selecting my Gmail account, it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow because Pabbly is safe. And yes, you can see we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me the spreadsheet name and the sheet name. So over here, as you can see, the name of my spreadsheet is event and the name of my sheet is sheet 1. So over here, I'm going to select the spreadsheet as event. And now it is asking me to select the sheet. So as you can see that it has automatically selected the sheet 1 because I have only a single sheet in my spreadsheet. So if you have multiple sheets, you are going to get the option to select one. So after selecting the spreadsheet and the sheet, it is asking me for some details which I have entered in the columns right over here. So we are going to map these details. Mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected OnceHub as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as I'm going to map all these details, automatically these details will turn dynamic and change with every new booking scheduled. And as soon as I'm going to map these details, my workflow would be ready to run in real time too. So we are going to open the response and then over here you can see 30 minutes meeting. So this is the event type and I'm going to map this. And then for the event date and event time, we are going to again map it. But as you can see that the starting date and time is in not the desired format. I want the starting date and time in this format, which is Asia Kolkata. So I'm going to map this in Asia Kolkata format. To do this, we are going to add an action step right between our trigger and Google Sheets. Over here, we are going to search for date time formatter. Date time formatter is a feature by Pabbly. And then for the action event, we are going to select format date with time zone. And again, we are going to click on connect. And yes, you can see that it is asking me for the date. So I'm going to map the date right over here. I'm going to search for time. And over here, you can see starting time. So we are going to map this. And now it has automatically selected the from format. We just have to select the to format. So first we are going to do this for the date. So I'm going to open this and then over here you can see that this is the desired date I want to add the details in. So I'm going to select this and now we are going to select the to time zone which is Asia Kolkata. So I'm going to search for it and then over here you can see, so I'm going to select it and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that it has given me the date in my desired format. And now again, we are going to clone this step to do this same for the time. So we are going to clone this step so that we don't have to repeat everything again. We just have to replace the date format with the time format. So as you can see that we have successfully cloned. So I'm going to open this. And over here, just from the to format, we are going to select the time format which we want to add the time in. So over here, you can see that this is my time format. So I'm going to select it. And now we don't have to change anything else. We are directly going to click on save and send test request. And yes, over here, you can see the time in our desired format. So with this, our date time formatter step is successful. And again, we are going to move on for the Google Sheets. And over here, we are going to map the event date and event time from the date time formatter. So first I'm going to map the event date and then the event time. And yes, you can see that we have mapped the result right over here. And then we are going to map the name. So we are going to open OnceHub booking schedule and search for name right over here. And then we are going to map smart user. We are going to do same for the email. Again, we are going to search for email. In map the user @pabblytudes.com, and same for the phone number. I'm going to search for phone number and map it. And now as you can see that I've mapped all these details, and now we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that the booking schedule details have been added to our Google Sheets. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets and check that if the details have been added or not. And yes, you can see event type 30 minutes, event date, event time, name, email and phone number has been added to my Google Sheets too. So this means that my workflow is successful, but I'll just test the workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So I'm going to open my OnceHub booking page, and then we are going to refresh this page. And again, we are going to do a test submission. So for this time, we are going to pick the date as 21 of May and the time as 5 p.m. And then we are going to click on continue. And now for the name, we are going to enter the name as test user, email as test@pabblytudes.com, the phone number as this. And now after entering all these details, again we are going to click on done. And yes, you can see your booking is confirmed. This means that OnceHub has sent the details of our booking to our workflow, Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further added the details of our booking in our Google Sheets. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and we are going to check that if the details have been added or not. This time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request will directly open our Google Sheets. And yes, you can see the details have been added with the same event date, event time, the name, email and phone number. So this means that my workflow is successful, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For a trigger application, I selected OnceHub, and then for the trigger event, I selected booking scheduled because I wanted that as soon as a new booking is scheduled in my OnceHub account, automatically my workflow should be triggered. And then for the action step, we selected Google Sheets, and then for the action event, we selected add new row, because I wanted that as soon as a new booking is scheduled, automatically the details of that booking should be added to my Google Sheets too. But we added two more action steps, which is date time formatter, because we wanted the event date and event time in our desired format. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here, you can see the two details I added to the spreadsheet during this video. So if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video, and for your reference, I'll just clone the workflow and share the workflow link in the description box. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.